This is probably day three. What is that? Advent of. What is this? Looking at which path to calculate good and a bad. Alright, let's see if we are live and then we can. Alright, let's see if we are live. Cool. What is happening on Twitter? Bytecode got into. Okay, they got the grant from East India. Nice. Who is this guy? Hmm. So, if you want to take a look at how to connect, how to use the TypeScript SDK, um, 1 second. Let's put this in another window. You can refer to this document on their code base, and also they have an example in their wallet repository which actually talks about how to connect to a wallet and sign transaction. That's what I was using. Alright, so we're gonna just write some to do so that it's easier for us to keep track of the work that we need to do. The first thing that we need to do is to fetch the object ID of the store, right, owned by the user, and then we're gonna sign the transaction and yeah. Alright, these are the two things that we'll be fixing or like working on. First thing first, first of all let's sort of show all the values here. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to have all right here we're fetching the data, right? So we're gonna do let let's objects is equals to await provider dot get object owned by address, and here we're going to actually pass in the address. So we also need to make sure that it exists, right? So if address, oh, it's account, right? Account, if it does exist, we'll fetch this, pass in the accounts, and then we're gonna let's go to console, refresh and see. This is the case we want to add here. So we have objects, and each object has this information. Owner has this key, address owner, which is my address, of course. Then you have previous transaction, and type is the type. How can I get the correct object ID? Because I do have the list of the objects, but is there a way I can only get objects which are owned by this person, but they should also be part of this contract? If I'm not wrong, for me, let's take a look at what this digest indicates, if it does anything. Object ID, yeah, we can search object. This is the type of transaction. Oh, of course, this is not the one that I'm looking for, right? Yeah, so I'm going to copy this address. I don't have to, I just click on it here. It's not giving me any owned objects. Why? Oh, I think this object, oh shit. Now I remember. This object is actually owned by this account. Why is it taking so much time? But yeah, this is the owner of the account. So, but it is also not showing me any owned objects. Hmm. Get object, you pass in the object ID and gives you something. How can I fetch it then? It's also not giving me any information. Okay. What is the object ID? This is the global package ID, right? If we take a look at it, I want to take a look at the objects that are created. Look, this is the publisher, and he should be the one who owns that object. So how can I actually take a look at which kind of object it actually is? Not this. Every object has balance associated with it, which is this is annoying. I can't get any information around this object. If you take a look at the object which was actually created, this is the object ID I'm looking for, CA3, and none of them is actually CA3. Alright, so this is owned by this particular address, and the object ID is 0CA. And if we take a look at the objects here, 0, we don't have it. For some reasons, we don't. Okay, it's an NFT. What is this? 0CA3 CD. Why is this an NFT? This is the value. This is annoying. Definitely annoying. Why is this an NFT? What I'm going to do now, object ID is this, last transaction owner. This is the type, right? So we need to look for the object which is of this type. Okay, let's try this out. We're going to do this. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna paste this address. Good. All right, and let's take a look at what we're gonna get. So we have 7 objects and we're looking for this. And if we take a look here, you will see that the type here is what we want probably. Yeah, so we can now actually iterate and show the owned object which is of this type, right? Yeah, so let's write some UI. All right, so first thing first, we're gonna show object type, right? Yeah, so object type, and stored value is going to be okay, I can write directly here, right? You need to keep track of the objects though. Or I can directly set one object. So what I'm gonna do now is right over here, we're gonna sort of find, let's do set object. We're gonna do is objects dot find. You have object, and we're looking for object dot. Okay. Now we're going to place the value here. So object dot object ID. Right, so this is what we are looking for. Interesting. So when you click on the handle submit, we can actually pass in this object ID. But of course, like right now it's using this, but this should be account. And yeah, now you can see we don't have anything, and the reason is pretty simple. This guy doesn't own anything, so what I am going to do here is if object exists, then we're gonna do this. Otherwise, you don't own store object. Right, so we don't own any store object. There should be a way to transfer ownership. Let's see if I can write it. Maybe like we'll do it in a moment. Now, when you're going to handle the submit, you need to pass in, this is going to be the second option. So if you take a look at the store module, you will see we have a mutate state which takes a store object and then the bytes. So we're gonna pass in the store object first, handle submit, and here we're gonna pass in the store object first. So we're gonna do object dot object ID, and then we're gonna pass in the array, right? Yeah. So it makes sense. If I try to change it, it should be an issue. Yep. Error executing a move call, and this is the error. Does not have a public script visibility with args object, whatever. But it's actually very wrong message. I mean, it should show we don't own the object. Mutate. Okay. Now we were able to do this. Now it's time to take a look at the signing the transaction. But first of all, I need to figure out a way to transfer ownership, right? Alright. So we're gonna have another method that transfers the ownership. So it does take store, a mutable reference to store, and it takes a new owner. Yeah, new owner is perfect name. It's an address. I'm not sure if we have address. We do. And then it takes context, which is of type tx context, and transfer the store to new owner. That's what it does. Let's take a look at how to do it. How can I transfer the ownership to this? Using transfer. Let's take a look at this transfer function from SWI. Okay, we do have it. Transfer, and we're looking in all the move files. Okay, this is an example where you transfer this object to the sender, and you can transfer coin to this. I will try to do this simple method and then see if it works. So transfer, and then store, and then tx, not here, new owner. Let's see if it works. So we're gonna sort of test it. You are calling the init method directly, which is a bit... Okay, how can you call it directly? Like, I mean, if this is inside it, then it makes sense, but right now, how to do it? Huh. I actually need to look into it. I barely know anything how to do this. So we're gonna do... Let's see if this works. Oh, it's move, right? Yeah. Does not have the ability key, doesn't it? What do you want me to do? The type this does not have the ability key. Why? Invalid argument. Transfer takes in the. Hmm. Where's the documentation for this? I'm looking for. Is this specific to move or? This link is undefined. They have SUI example. We're looking for transfer. Looks like the transfer function takes the object itself instead of the reference to it. You are transferring something called paper, which is title that, and title that is what? Do you want me to pass in just this door? Interesting. And about module alias this. Okay. It makes sense when transferring. Okay. Now we need to figure out this. Is there any example of? They also have events. Profile collected. Just copy and drop. Let's figure out how to do this test first, and then we'll take a look at how this works. So alright, so I'm gonna go through this object thing and see what are the features it offers. Creating an object. It's just like initiating, creating a struct thing, right? Yeah. Stores 3 objects and current constructor will put the value in local variable where it can be returned to the current function passed to the other function stored inside a struct. All the APIs for adding object requests and storage in the transfer module. One key API is this. Okay, this is for what? Processing the data, right? You transfer it to someone else. Below is the code to create a new color object that makes it owned by the sender of the transaction. Alright, so this is a classic example, and We can also get a color object that return to the color values so the module outside of the color object are able to read the value. So you can get the color object and you can pass in this. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a probably an example where it does what we want it to do. Unbound module alias is store, but how do I import store? Maybe what I can do is, can I do something like use super? I'm not sure if it works. Okay. Restricted visibility. This function is internal to its module. Okay, but I just want to test it. Let's take a look at the color object.move. Yeah, you pass in this and then this. Self and color object is the struct. Okay, you don't have to explicitly specify that the struct is public. Self and store. Okay, I get it. Like, I can't do this, which means okay, which is fine. I want to be able to create a store outside this. So you created the scenario. This. Oh, you need to pass in the context as well. So you have the context here. Then we're gonna do store create, and it takes in a vector which is going to be vector of u8, and let's add some values here. Then it takes the context like this. All right, so the value is now actually owned by check. The not owner does not own the just created color object, and the way you get the just created color object is by doing test scenario. You can take owned, you pass in the object and scenario, and it should give you you pass in the scenario and an address, which will probably be the signer for the next transaction, if I'm not wrong. I want to check if admin is the signer. Let's see. Oh, okay, I know what's the issue here. And the issue is this is given. Invalid argument for parameter context. need to pass in the mutable reference. Yeah, now you just need to change this. And it works. Let's see what will happen if I do this. What is wrong? I'm not sure what is the... Brutovic. What am I missing now? What is this assert statement even running or what? What is this? Test expected abort with 0 here. With 0. Is this like sort of a message with 1 here? So what if I pass in... Okay, this is like an error code, like, right? So if I do 999, so you need to sort of keep track of this. Ah, shit. If this is the case... The thing is, admin should be able to access it, right? It doesn't make any difference. Why? This is simple, yeah. This is what I'm using. I want to look at tests. You create a scenario, then you can call them any method. Extract the sword owned by the initial user. Let's see. Owned by previous user, right? Store exists, then we're gonna send 9. Invalid call of assert. Invalid argument. Do we want to do this exclamation mark? Oh shit, no. Invalid argument for parameter is 0. Interesting. Maybe what I can do here is restore transfer ownership of this store to tx context in test scenario ctx. No. I want to pass in the address, right? So I can directly pass in. Then how can I check test if admin still owns the store object? How to get the admin of a store we also need to pass in the context, right? This is fine. While calling transfer, can we pass in the reference? Where is that section? Nope. Build. Yeah, transfer objects. This is just an address. What do you mean? It is still being mutably borrowed. When you create context, oh, you mean like it's borrowed here? Is this what you are trying to say? Invalid usage of reference as function argument cannot transfer module, which is already being borrowed. It is still being mutably borrowed by this reference. We can pass in invalid usage of reference as function argument. You know what? I'm gonna ask for help in the group. I can't paste. Why can I not paste? I copied and I pasted. Oh god damn it, it was. I actually need to analyze the examples written in Sui move, which actually does something because right now I'm just playing with the object, but I want to take a I want to take a look at the examples that actually does something. So what I'm gonna do is go here and we're gonna take a look at the example. So not this. DeFi sources. Okay, there's a pool, shared escrow, and subscription. What is a pool? It's a liquidity pool for Sway. Let's take a look. So we're gonna analyze this example and try to make sense out of it. And meanwhile, I might be able to get the answer to this question, or maybe I will be able to figure out taking a look at the examples itself. So I think this is going to be the end of the stream. I might stream later this evening, but right now I will end the stream and probably do something.